All right, 7 o'clock. We are live with, you know what episode this is? 90?
I think it's 90.
Episode 90. So, just David and I tonight. Shane is in Texas getting ready for the Tackle Warehouse Store event number 1 from Sam Rayburn. So, fishing season is upon us.
It's here.
I'm excited. Did you watch, been watching any MLF stuff?
I don't have
Cups?
cable. I don't have cable.
They fished this past weekend was on Lake Wiley from this past fall.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard people talking about it. I don't know what's happened or anything. Maybe I'll see it. Maybe I won't.
It only took
Like 9 pounds?
8 pounds.
8 pounds?
8 pounds was the cut weight.
Nice.
And it took them all 3 periods to catch it.
Yeah, they were here. It was September, which is terrible, terrible time.
Yeah, but still.
It's the new and improved Lake Wiley.
The guys that have been here before, they did pour mouth it pretty bad about spotted bass taking over. So they were very surprised.
It's a train wreck.
Let me get us shared around. See Double D's on here. Double D celebrated a birthday this week. I think it was yesterday? Double D?
I hope there's no more pictures floating around.
I haven't seen any pictures.
Okay, good. I shared it to a bunch of places.
Oh, you did already?
I did, but feel
Okay.
free to double share.
Dalton's probably like 24 now, something like that.
Yeah. Joey just jumped on. What's up, Joey?
He's on here too.
Well, it's warm in here today.
You got the heat on?
I guess so. I mean, when we go from 70 degrees to Arctic weather all in 2 weeks,
They finally started biting though.
they did a little bit.
So I've been MIA. I was down with the COVID. My whole family got it, so it's finally getting out of our house. So I've been a little MIA here recently with all the fishing stuff. So I understand there was a 20-pound bag caught on Wiley this past weekend.
There was.
And if I understand correctly, 4 of the 5 keepers, or 4 of the 5 fish that were weighed in were spotted bass.
That is correct.
Including
A 5.52.
a 5.52 spotted bass, which that's a big one.
Is large.
That's a big one. So, you fished, right? Tell us
I did fish.
about the lake a little bit. What, did it finally get cold, I guess? Water temperature finally get cold?
It's gotten cold, but I'm going to just tell you, the I think the alewives have done more damage than the spots.
Think so?
I think these fish are setting up a lot deeper than normal. Most of our fish that we caught were between 15 and 20.
Dang.
And that seems to be kind of like the magic depth.
What was the water temperature? It's in the 40s?
44.
That's what I like to hear. Colder the better.
Yep.
Did y'all catch a bunch Sunday?
Yeah. I think we caught 35 or 40 fish.
35 or 40 fish?
Yeah. Good for 14 pounds.
14 pounds. Well, 14 pounds would have won it.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, it's... I don't know. I don't know how to... I'm going to say the lake's turning around, but no, it's finally producing some fish because I think everything's feeding.
Finally got cold enough.
It did finally get cold enough. Ice in the backs of the creeks.
I like that. Sorry, I'm still sharing. I'm a little slow here this evening.
I think we're all slow.
Chris Marshall wants to know if he's fishing your stuff.
No, I don't go to the river, Chris.
To the river. Are you going to fish the CBC this year?
Yes, I will be attending.
You going to Murray or?
I'm going to Murray, and then I think my dad and I are gonna knock the dust off and fish North Carolina side.
Okay. Who you fishing South Carolina with?
Derek and I are gonna ride down to Murray.
Derek Lilly?
He called me and asked me to go, and I said, sure, why not? Go donate some money to Chris and Jody.
It's been taking some weight to win down there.
It has. Tim, how what? I need a little clarification. How, question mark.
Maybe how it was won Sunday?
Yeah, I don't know those details. My guess is
I would assume
Alabama rig and a jerkbait.
Yeah. You ain't donating to us. The A-riggers will get you down there. Chris, is the water real cold on Murray? I assume it is. I haven't been down there since October. I think it's probably in the at least low 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim wants to know how you got them.
A-rig and jerkbait, Tim.
All right, I think I got everything.
Yep. No, Wiley, I mean, it's
48.
wintertime. It's full on wintertime now.
48 down at Murray. We'll make some
boy.
big ones bite.
Chris said the coldest he's seen it in years.
Good. We need it to get cold. That pushes the big waves to go spawn.
Yeah, I think the last couple of years everything's kind of been off its cycle just because we haven't had a cool down.
Well, shoot, one of these past years, I remember catching fish on a buzzbait on New Year's Day in the tournament out here.
I think you and I both have done that in the last 4 years. Matter of fact, this year you could have caught them on buzzbait New Year's Day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm with Keith. Need a good shad kill. 23 pounds, one on Murray yesterday.
the problem is shad kill and alewife kill don't compute.
I don't know if I've ever seen alewives die before. The colder the better for them.
That's the problem, and the fish are staying with them. I think it's just day to day as to whether they're high in the water column or low in the water column.
Well, alewives like the bottom, so they're typically low in the water column.
I mean, I can take you to places there's fish suspended in 30 foot of water out here over 50.
Yeah. That's probably just where they can't breathe anymore.
I don't know.
That's what happened to striper. They go down in that below the thermocline and die. They can't breathe.
Yeah, but I hadn't seen a thermocline out here.
Yeah, you won't see one now. It's not hot enough.
That's what I'm saying. They can pretty well go top to bottom right now.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know how it works in the wintertime. I never fished that deep to worry about it.
That's a Fraser question.
Yeah.
Another rabbit hole we don't need to go down.
Yeah. I might have to go figure that out. Go nerd it up for you and figure it out.
Well, I mean, we've had some pretty in-depth
Well, I take that
nerd
back.
conversations about this time of year.
I have caught fish off the bottom in the wintertime in 35, and the only reason I know that they were on the bottom is because when they came to the top, they had mud on their bellies.
Yeah.
They were laying on hard spots to stay warm.
Yep.
What's that second belt on the wall? You want to tell me you had a belt up there?
Oh, the battle for the belt. Yeah, that was from when was that?
That was around Christmas.
Yeah, I think it was right before Christmas. We did a 1 versus 1 versus 1.
Anybody that had the belt that year was invited to fish in basically a 4-man tournament. And David ended up winning that. We had, 12.5 pounds, something like that?
13 and some change.
Well,
that was before it warmed up and messed everything up.
Well, technically, I think you won, but Todd tried to weigh 9 fish in, and he had 15 pounds. There's Joey. That's Todd's belt. Y'all got a fish still? Y'all going to baiting?
I hadn't heard I haven't heard anything out of Todd. He's kind of gone MIA.
What's called?
I mean,
Todd's duck hunting. That's what he's doing.
I figured they're trying to get the last little bit of quack in
Yeah,
before it
probably
goes
got
out.
cold enough.
Wow, you're important tonight. Yeah, right now I've got a belt-free shoulder, Tim. Yeah. Blind squirrel can find a nut every now and again.
I bet baiting would be fun right now if it's cold, as long as it's not muddy.
Ugh. Last time I was there, it was cold and muddy, and it just wasn't.
That place gets muddy in a hurry.
Mm, yeah, one sneeze and it's
Yeah,
red mud.
all them Yagi lakes are like that though.
Oh, we should have gone to bathing like a month ago.
Shoot, you like Thunder Area, you go to Baden. That's where Big Giant was up there.
Yeah.
Tim Kelly says yeah, it'll be his.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys need to set a date now. Let you out now. It's decided it's yours.
Well, we got to kind of. Man, Josh, good. I hadn't seen you in ages. I'm glad to see that they've let you out from under your conveyor belt, buddy. Yeah,
I thought I
guess
saw Josh out here not too long
he
ago.
did. He showed
he come
up.
out here.
He showed up, and
I didn't realize it was him until.
I think he left early.
Okay. I think I saw him on the lake. You don't see many tritons with an avid root on it, and when I saw one, I was like, I bet that's Josh.
Yeah. I don't know. We got to figure that out. I got to find camera. We got to figure out camera people. You got the old Common Cold with the 19 behind it. That's no fun. I mean, it sucks that that's what life is.
It was more than a common cold for me. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now.
Was it?
They kicked my butt. Yeah.
Well, I've had it twice confirmed, and the first time was brutal, yes.
Yeah.
Second time, not so much.
Eddie, I like it coming to Hartwell. Getting to go to the, I can drive and go to the expo if I want to. Hartwell's a great venue. I think it is. It's a huge lake. You can pretty much do whatever you want on it. You'll have guys fishing timber. You'll have guys fishing 6 foot of water or 6 inches of water. Hartwell's fun. You can spread out and ditch fish and herring fish.
I don't know that the ditch fish will come into play in March.
Depends on how cold it is.
I mean,
last time they were down there, it was 6 degrees.
On the trap, well, the trap we're on, man.
They actually school on that lake still too, so
They do. I've heard a lot of people talking about Hartwell getting overrun with tournaments.
every lake's overrun with tournaments.
No, I'm talking like large scale tournaments.
Gotcha.
I mean, guys say that this is going to be a controversial topic, but guys say that having an Elite Series type event will ruin a lake.
Hey, one of my baseball buddies is on here. Jesse Floyd. Jesse, give us a prediction for the Tackle Warehouse tournament down there in your neck of the woods. What's it going to take a day? I think you may have recently been out there. I saw you won a club tournament. I think it might have been on Rayburn.
So he lives in Texas and fishes?
Yep, he's a skeeter guy.
Everybody from Texas is a skeeter guy.
If you're still on here, tell us what you think. Calling for more winter weather this weekend. Last year, Hartwell several tournaments canceled. Hartwell will be a big success. I'm with Jeff. I like them local. So if I get some time to go down there, I can.
No, I mean I love having them local, and Neil Paul's done a great job with bringing economics to Anderson County with that. But again, with South Carolina doing as little as they're currently doing for their lakes, is it going to withstand? That's the question.
Well, I mean,
now, I'm not saying that South Carolina's not gearing up to do more for their lakes, but the question is, with the current status of things, is it gonna be able to hold up to it.
I don't know. We had Fraser in here shortly after the pandemic, and he was telling us that there was record sales during the pandemic for fishing licenses.
Oh, there are, for sure.
Across the nation. So fishing's changed a lot just in the 25 years that I've been doing it. I mean, when I was a kid, all you needed was a floating worm and a spinnerbait. When it got hot, throw a buzzbait. I mean, that was it. And you got here and
when
catch.
it got cold, you threw the rake.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. I mean, there was very little that you had to do. And that was, when I was 12 years old, we just walked the bank and TK and go through 2-3 bags of trick worms. And
you still can go into
April and
TK
May
pockets and go through trick worms.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was,
20 years ago.
20 years ago. It was, when I say walk the bank, I'm talking 150 yards of the people that we knew. You can't do that anymore.
Jeremy Adams, I think there are lakes in the southeast that are overfished, yes, but as far as
everyone on the Catawba chain is.
For the current state of affairs, I agree. But I'm going to tell you something. Y'all haven't seen overfished until you go to Chickamauga. And there's 100 boats in a boat ramp parking lot on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't, it's not, until you get away from here, you really don't see what it really is.
Chick and Gunnersville.
Gunnersville.
For sure.
I mean, you go to any of the...
those places sustain it really well, though. They got grass. They're 3 times the size of this lake out here. They have stocking programs.
No, you said it. They have grass. That's
And,
all you need.
They're a lot healthier fisheries out here.
Yeah, come to Rayburn. That's right.
Yeah.
I am. I'm coming to Rayburn in October. Trying to figure out if I can work out a trip to go over to OH Ivy when we go that way too.
Go over where?
OH Ivy.
I've never been there.
It's evidently it's churning out some mega giants.
Is it?
14s, 15s, 13s.
Dang. Yeah, our Texas guys are chiming in now.
I mean, I'm just saying no, it's not overfished. Not like that. And Hartwell does have a lot of water. I mean, Jody brings up a valid. They're not going to cover every inch of that lake.
Yeah.
This winter weather, have you heard anything about this?
I have not.
I saw a little bit of rain on Friday, and that's all.
15. Somebody caught a 15 today at Ivy.
Yeah. I was talking to.
How big is that lake?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I'm guessing
I've just noticed 4 or 5 of the YouTube guys talking about it and posting ridiculously large bass.
I'm guessing it probably has grass and timber in it.
I don't know that there's a lake in Texas that doesn't have timber.
All right, so we talked to Shane. Said he's having an okay practice. Right?
He said he's having a decent practice. He said he hasn't found any big ones.
Any big ones?
But again, it was all via text message, and I don't know.
Well, there's a little bit. It looked like the weather stabilized down there. I was looking at the weather right before we got started. Maybe a little bit of a warming trend. Looks like it might creep into the 60s by the weekend down there.
That could be good.
So I don't know what the weather or the water temperature is. Every report I read was saying anywhere from low 50s to mid 50s. So I don't know if it's on the upswing or bottomed out, or I don't know much about Texas. So
that's a little out of my zip code. When does it start? It starts Thursday, right?
Yep. Jesse might be able to tell us what the water temp is down there.
Who?
Jesse Floyd.
Okay.
But it should be fun. I mean, any big pre-spawn wintertime tournament when with the lake where, it's got giants in it, there's a potential for 30-pound bags, I'm sure.
I'm sure you'll see a 30-pound bag down there.
I would like to see one. I saw the Hugh busted them on Toho a couple days ago.
When's that start?
Next week.
That's the Open at Toho.
Yep.
Yep. Got on the ivermectin. Yeah. Somebody come through the store today and said after the Omicron variant there was no more.
I don't know.
I mean,
They didn't prescribe me anything.
go home and deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure the ivermectin is a thing that you're going to get prescribed. I think that's a self-medication.
Gotcha.
Anyway, all right. So we got Rayburn, Toho. When's the first Elite Series event?
It's in February, I believe.
I saw Todd out breaking in his new boat this weekend.
Did you? Is it wrapped already?
Yeah, it is.
I saw a lot of guys on social media scrambling to get all their stuff done.
Yeah, it came quick for a lot of guys this year.
Yeah. Let's see when the the first Elite tournament is at the St. Johns River, February 10th through the 13th, and then they turn right around and go to the Harris Chain the following week. So, what's that? 3 weeks?
Yeah.
We got Rayburn this week, the Open. Is there a weekend between there, or
No, it's back to. It's like boom,
it's
boom,
back
boom.
to back? Yeah, we got 4 straight solid weeks of big tournaments to follow.
4 solid? No, 3 solid weeks.
No, 4. Rayburn, the Open, St. John's, Harris Chain. The Elites are back to back.
Oh, they do have a back-to-back.
Yep. Then they roll into the
Boy.
Classic.
You got fans in the. Yeah, I saw that. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce his name. I'd like to give him a proper American greeting, but I can't. I got nothing. You got something? I mean,
I don't. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you coming.
BFL on Hartwell same weekend, and the CBC is on Murray the same weekend as the Open on Toho.
There's a lot going on.
I think it's starting up full swing in a hurry.
Yep. Well, you know how it is. It gets CBC. I mean, the CBCs are done by May this year. I think Hickory is the second week of May. Well, I'll take that back. I think Watery goes into June, but
Yeah, Watery's. That's gonna be.
hopefully the water will be back up by then.
It won't be. It'll be probably lower. Terrible. Terrible. David Williams, you are not right, sir.
I bet David's been busy. David, you been busy rafting boats?
No.
No?
All right. Getting all kinds of warning messages on my computer.
About what?
Oh, some HP thing. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, 2-day BFL on Watery in September is going to be a real.
Barn burner?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think whoever has a limit both days will probably do well.
BPT Bass Pro Tours in Louisiana next week. I didn't know that.
Their marketing is terrible.
I'm not going to know what to do. There's a lot to watch. It's all live now, too.
Yeah, you're not going to get much work done.
I'm going to have to. These last 3 weeks of
Yeah, I could imagine.
son COVID,
kids
me
back
COVID,
on.
daughter COVID.
Kids back on. I mean, they're good.
Yeah, my little girl is still kind of touch and go, but
Cough.
yeah.
Yeah.
How many tournaments on Rayburn this weekend? Tackle Warehouse Tour, Stephen. They're down there at Rayburn. They start Thursday. That's where Shane is.
Yeah, I think I'll have to break down and put Tackle Warehouse tour on live in the shop this week.
Scott, the Thursday night deals, they start in March?
No, first week of April.
Okay, first week of April.
The Thursday nighters from 6:30 to 11. First week in April. Fishers and Men on Murray this weekend.
It's all going down.
And I'm
Everybody's getting
still
started.
riding on 3 wheels.
Man, are you ever going to get that fixed?
Yeah, it's been a fight. I think I finally got everything resolved. Meet the Pros event February 28th, Brushy Creek Baptist, Taylors, South Carolina, I'm guessing.
Chris, who all do you have coming to that event? You got any Berryman jigging spoons?
I do not have any Berryman jigging spoons. Dalton's going to win the Fishers and Men. That's a pretty bold statement.
Joey's saying that because he's probably in the boat with him.
Yeah. David Williams, Scott Martin, Brandon Card. Mike Langford, I had somebody run into the trailer and break front hub. It's kind of a dumb thing. ABA on Monticello this Sunday.
I go there and fish that.
Huh?
You gotta go there and fish that.
No. I've never been there.
That's where you and Tim Kelly, you'd like Monticello. It's deep.
I know it's deep, but I don't like. I'm about deeped out. This whole thing, I forgot how deep we used to catch fish out here until this year, and it's like, wow.
I don't like deep either. It takes too long for your stuff to sink.
It does.
It's aggravating.
Mike, I ordered the hub from Easy Loader today. I'm hoping I'll have it the next day or two.
Easy Loader makes mosquito trailers?
Well, yeah,
I didn't know.
they did. I don't know if they still do currently.
Keith, he's been dragging that thing everywhere on 3 wheels.
Down Hands Mill. Well, I was headed back to the house yesterday. Tim Kelly, I don't mind fishing deep. It's just I forgot how deep. I just forgot how deep I fished. I mean, I caught fish Sunday on places that I hadn't fished in 3 years because it hadn't gotten cold enough, and they're finally there again.
And he is a super nice guy. He fished with us. Was that technically a 2v2 deal?
That was a 2-on-2 thing that
Yeah, he and
Jerry Bono got them roped into.
Jerry Bono and Shane fished against him and Roy Barrow from Wacky Wiggers up at High Rock a couple months ago. Was that November? October.
I don't know. I don't remember, man. Everything I got 2 kids. Just like time runs together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark. I heard about your fiasco. I'm glad y'all survived that.
I fished the Opens the year Brandon Card qualified. He qualified out of I think it was an 18.5-foot skeeter with a 150 on it. I'm pretty sure it was bright yellow, the boat.
Hey, run what you brung. Ralph Young, I do have some new shallow water baits, and I greatly appreciate it.
What'd you get? All those crankbaits you were showing me?
Top secret plugs, man.
Yeah, those are going to disappear. That one bag is.
Nope.
I put them away. You don't even know where they are.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find them somewhere.
You just don't know how many you got.
I got them right over there. I see them. You don't think I know how many I've got?
Well, you just did inventory, so you're not going to do it for another year. David, you got more tackle stuffed in corners and lost than you even know what you have.
I do have chip magnets, Tim. I know what I've got. I just necessarily can't put my hands on it all
I
the
was
time.
gonna say, you know what you got, I just don't know where it is.
Yeah, I was actually looking for something the other day that I still am like, no idea. Still lost on it. I got a box of crankbaits floating around somewhere that I legitimately cannot put my hands on.
That's not good. Crankbaits are expensive.
Yeah, especially those. That's got several wooden baits in it that
DT8, you got any of those yet?
the DT8 should be any day now. I got a notification they should be here.
I've seen them. They look good.
I know.
like 'em.
I've heard you've seen them. Have you caught any fish on them?
Maybe.
Yeah. Jody, you asked about mine or Brandon's? I got both of mine playing basketball. Ralph, I plan on using them when I make it down to Murray in 2 weeks.
Shoot, I'll be throwing them out here.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have them this weekend.
Jody, no basketball for my little guy.
He went straight into the
Yeah,
baseball.
we never stopped. We had practice yesterday.
Man, that's cold on him.
It is inside.
Oh, inside practice. Okay.
Yeah. The tall one. I'll try to get him to play basketball this winter. He didn't want to do it. We'll have a lot to talk about tonight.
Huh?
We'll have a lot to talk about tonight.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. We
I'm
just
sure
don't have
you've
a
got.
lot.
I'm sure you've got some sort of an education on
I'm
something with fishing right now.
I haven't been out here, man. Not since Reed and I had whatever we had. 1430 or whatever it was to win.
Yeah, we all thought it was a mega bag till this last weekend, and then you would have fallen in line right with the rest of us.
I don't know. Might have had 21 pounds. You never know.
It's
I
possible.
didn't get to fish. What's the water temperature? You said 44, right?
It's 44 degrees.
Is it dirty?
It's
Can't be if you're catching real deep.
it's not dirty, but it's not clear. It's kind of like that. You got about a foot and a half, 2 foot of
So it's
visibility.
good color.
Yeah,
Is
it's that color you can go both ways.
Is
You
it
can
the
go
lake-
deep or shallow.
Is it the Lake Wiley green or is it dirt?
It's like kind of cardboard-ish,
Okay.
but you can fish deep or shallow. The problem is my shallow fish that I had kind of evaporated.
We're going to do fancy fishing this year?
You're the brains behind that.
We got to have stuff to give away, though.
Well, I mean, one of the top 3 jig builders in the Southeast is on here asking about it, so I'm sure I can talk him into giving away a prize pack.
Fantasy fishing insights. I don't know enough people on the Tackle Warehouse store to give you any if they do fantasy fishing.
I haven't seen anything about. I'm sure they do. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, Mitch, I watched it. I was surprised they were there. I bumped into those guys. They stayed right over here by Lowe's in Fort Mill. I bumped into. I'm trying to think who it was. They were at the car wash getting the camera boat washed. One of them last fall. It was around the CBC Championship on Murray, which was in October.
Interesting.
That's when they were here.
So, Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit has fantasy fishing powered by Bally Corporation because it's now the first professional fishing league that takes bets.
How about that?
And so they're gonna.
So Bally bought all the Fox Sports stuff, right? I know that's what the Braves games come on now. Bally Sports.
And they may have. I know this that they. sent out an email with some flyer about sports betting in professional fishing. How that works, I don't know.
I don't either.
I wouldn't I mean,
Mark McDaniel said he won the points last year. Where's his prize? We fell off on that one towards the end down there.
I think we did.
We did not do a good job to our viewers and patrons on fantasy fishing. We came out of the gate hot. That's a really good giveaways, and then we kind of just petered off.
Well, this year let's do a better job at it.
All right.
We can post up an Elite Series group. I don't know how looking at it. It's
We got 3 weeks. Figure it out.
we got the elites to figure out. We got like 24 hours to figure out the MLF.
Yeah, we'll have to do elites only.
Okay, so we're gonna make it elites only. That's simple enough. Mark McDaniel, stop by the store. I'll get you a prize. I don't even know if you're local. I think I just screwed up.
Don't block them.
I didn't block him. I just think I may have blocked. I just knocked the video offline, maybe.
Did you?
I may have because I'm a ding dong.
What have you found out about the bait I left with you getting some paint of that color for me? David Etheridge.
Yes, I'm working on it, David. The painter had a little bit of a. He's having some trouble making one of the colors work. I'm going to get on him this week. Matter of fact, he's bringing me some stuff this week. I'm going to get after him again about it. Tournament results. We discussed Lake Wiley. What was Norman got? Everything got canceled.
Canceled, Norman.
Everything got canceled.
Is there a tournament you're curious about, Mike?
Gotta open that door. I'm burning up.
Lives in Forest City.
I hate to break it to him, but I got a gift card coming his way.
To Jody?
Well, to Mark McDaniel.
Put some pressure on him.
I will put some pressure on him. Meet and greet Rusty Hook's tournament, maybe in early summer. Why so late?
It'll be busy.
Mike Barber took 20.52 on Wiley. Matt Hayes had a day in the river. Mike Stevens second, 16. Derek Lilly and I were third with 14. And I think everybody else had between 11 and 12 pounds.
I like Jeff Murray's idea, though.
I like his idea, but I don't want to wait till early summer.
I say we go when Shatter's spawning.
I mean, I say we go now.
Or now.
I mean, now's good.
We wouldn't have anybody show up, though. It's too cold.
I don't understand that. Yeah, Derek carried me. That's right. Do I know? Why didn't you show up and fish, Mike? Shad spawn. Shad spawn. That would be good. There are a lot of tournaments between then and now, but I'm sure there's something that's open. I'm sure there's a weekend open. Jody, Tim and I talked. Tim wants to have the freedom to decide and not commit to tournaments. He's picked up carp fishing and wants to just be able to do.
Carp fishing's fun.
He wants to do what, and I get it. I don't blame him.
That stuff will ruin you. It's fun.
Never been.
It's fun.
Is it?
It's real fun. When they're biting, it's fun. It can be very aggravating, too, when the guy beside you is smoking them and you can't get a bite.
Well, that happens.
You can't. It's not like you can pick up and move. You can pick up and leave, but you can't.
Cast over there.
No. You get thrown in the pond.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, there ain't no cutting anybody off in carp fishing. You might not be any good at it then.
really. Really.
Oh. Mike Barber said he's trying to support the Lake Norman guys that said can't feed all of us.
Well, I mean, if I had to eat off my tournament winnings this winter,
I'd be starving.
It'd be beanie weenies.
Yeah,
At best.
I don't know if I'd be eating anything.
You and Reed have won a couple.
Yeah. We can get them the corn. Oh.
I don't know. Tonight is slow.
There's more secret juju that goes into carp bait than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Those guys take that stuff way
At one
too
point,
seriously.
I used to go with Shane a good bit. At one point, I think Shane had more boxes of carp flavoring than he did of bass lures, believe it or not.
I mean, you take that way too far. What secret bait for what?
For carp?
That changes. Water temperature.
Yeah, I think Steven Stone's still on here. He's a carp fisherman. So is Jason.
Jason Gibson is too.
Yeah, so all I know is there's basically three different things. There's rice, there's oats,
Soybeans.
soybean, and they'll throw chow, which is ground up fish guts, I think.
Yeah.
And there he is. Water temp. There you go.
Red peach.
Red peach. Chow.
Yeah, I think right now the chow is the thing.
I think the colder it is, I think chow.
Carp double hole with pop rocks.
Millet. I forgot millet. There
Yeah,
you go.
Millet.
Grits, bread, millet. I've never fished with bread. I didn't think you could fish with bread. I just saw somebody mix up carp bait with the Mad Dog 2020, and I knew that, man, this
This is a sport for me. Well, Joey, that's awful pricey stuff to be mixing into carp bait.
Joey's at the high price ponds down there in Chapin.
Yeah, obviously.
Tim, it's nuts. It's a lot of fun, though.
You know what I find funny is we've dropped like 20 viewers since we started talking about carp fishing.
That's all right.
Gene, we do not have any red chick magnets. Those were the first ones gone.
Cheerwine syrup from the Sundrop plant.
Not all of us have that.
See? Yeah, they got all these secret things.
Yeah. I need to check see when that next shipment of chick magnets is going to show up because they are going quick.
The worst thing that happened to me could have happened to me the first time I went carp fishing. We won almost $2,000 the very first time I ever went.
Yeah, and you never won that
on
much
like
again.
a $50 entry.
All right, Round Man, thank you for bailing us out of this carp fishing discussion. Best treble for crankbait, what brand and why?
So,
You know, anything you say, I'm going to say the exact opposite just to have an argument.
that's fine.
Okay.
So I throw, first of all, I don't have necessarily a real brand that I like. I have several. I throw Hayabusas, Sports Chain, throw Gamakatsu, and I guess really that's it, the only two. I think I got some owners mixed in there somewhere. For me, I like short shanked on any crankbait because the longer the shank it is, the better chance you got to get it hung up. When it's cold, fish have a tendency to slap at it. I like to throw round bends, just because they, if a fish slaps at it, or if you're fishing spotted bass, a lot of times spotted bass will hit it with his mouth closed, and you hook him in the top of the head or across his eyes or whatever.
They do have a habit of headbutting them.
But I like that round bend because it's got a little bit better bite. a bigger gap in it. So if a fish does slap in it, you at least have them on there a couple cranks before you lose them and feel bad about it. When it gets warmer and fish are actually, like if they're inhaling your bait, then I will go to an EWG hook. It penetrates better. So when their mouths aren't, when it's cold, fish's mouths are real tough. When it gets hot, they get more rubbery. But I like that EWG around, realistically, when I get into a post-spawn situation is when I switch over to EWGs.
Okay.
But
Now-
that's me. I know KVD puts his KVD
Triple
EWGs
grips.
on there, triple grips year
On
round,
everything.
and he smokes them, right? So,
Well,
you're talking about one of the best. He's probably won more money on a crankbait than everybody put together.
yeah, I'm not going to argue the brands. I mean, you kind of get to a point with a treble hook where brand is up to your personal opinion. I do like the Hayabusa NRB coated hooks. I like round bends. Typically, I'll put as big a hook as the bait will float, or neutral buoyancy. I'm not so much worried about it backing up unless I'm cranking wood.
Yeah, I pretty much stick with the same size that are on them. Well, the warmer it gets, Shad Rap technically is a crankbait, and I'll upsize those hook sizes one size when I'm throwing them.
Yeah.
Makes it easier to cast, and it makes them suspend too. But a Shad Rap's a cold water bait, so when you hit something, want it to stop, you want it to just sit there.
I will say talking about that chick magnet, I don't know why, but every fish I've caught with it, that bait has been
They swallow it.
inhaled.
Yeah, they eat it.
David, I do think personally the Hayabusas are a better hook. I think the point lasts a little bit longer on the Hayabusas.
They're just coated.
And they're coated.
Yeah, your KVDs are not. They're just, they're coated, but they're black nickel, right?
Yeah.
They're not nano coated.
The nano coating helps them last longer in the tackle box.
Yeah,
So.
it does, but I'll say this too. What I've seen with the nano stuff is when it's real cold outside, they have a tendency to break.
I can't speak to. I have not had that happen, but that's just me.
They break. I'm not talking about Hayabusas. I'm just talking about nano coated hooks in general. They break where it's soldered to the actual shank of the hook. The whole hook.
That
bend
one
just
hook will
snaps
come
off. Yeah.
I've not seen that. And I put on my jerkbait especially, I throw the Hayabusas.
Yeah, if they get weak too. Like if you bend one and bend it back,
It's time to change
you
it.
You gotta change it.
But they are needle sharp.
They are very sharp. Yep. And when it's cold and you can't feel your hands, there's a tendency that you have them stuck in your hands. I've had that happen to me and didn't even know it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the nano coated stuff, they tend to, out of the package for me, they tend to penetrate better because they're just, I don't want to say they're sharper, they're slicker. So there's less friction when they penetrate.
I think they're sharper. I mean, really,
Yeah.
they're a lot has got to do with wire size too on the hooks. I mean, if you look at somebody brought up the fusion hooks. Fusion hooks may work well, but the wire diameter on the hook is larger than a Hayabusa, so the amount of pressure it takes to get the hook buried can be more. And especially with fish having harder mouths this time of year, a lighter wire hook will stick a lot easier than a larger diameter wire.
Yeah, especially they're slapping at it. I do like the Berkeley Fusion hooks, though. They're one of the only ones I've ever found that has a 3X hook, which I'll throw on like a Whopper Plopper or
See, why?
a walking bait or something like that. Because I throw that stuff on braid, and when they blow up on it way out there, I have a tendency to maybe set the hook a little too hard out of excitement.
Again, that's another conversation that creates a point of argument for a lot of people. But your rod has a lot to do with that too.
Well, I agree, but you're going to have a hard time finding a rod that can handle a 1 ounce whopper plopper that's got any kind of flex in it.
Stick around. I might learn you something.
I'm good on that one.
See, that's everybody gets so one track on that. It's funny. We were discussing that earlier today, and everybody's opinion on rods is very. A lot of people are closed-minded.
I don't want to say I'm closed-minded. I've thrown and fished and have tried probably about every rod there is. It's just what works, what I'm most comfortable with, what works best for me is a heavier rod for those baits. Because whopper plopper style baits, you can throw those things like a mile.
That's right.
And I don't want a rod that's going to load when it hits the water. You turn the handle 2 times and blow up on it. And I want, when I move the rod, I want it to move my bait.
Yeah.
And with a walking bait, I've seen guys throw them on 7-11s and 7-6s and stuff like that. Man, that stuff wears me out. I actually throw a spook or an IMA bait or whatever. I throw it on 7 foot, 7'3". I mean, even 7'3" is kind of long. At the end of the day, it wears me out.
You like the short rod where it's, yeah. Chris Marshall, I agree with that, but I also happen to know that what you throw a walking bait on is drastically different than what Brandon throws a walking bait on.
So my rods are old now. I mean,
that's again the other thing with rods is what you're throwing is not today's.
Yeah, so
we were talking about actions on the rods. A Falcon rod is more.
Yeah, a Falcon
limber.
Medium is a medium light or a medium.
So when you say a heavy rod, a heavy to you may be a medium heavy to me.
Yeah,
it just depends.
I have a ton of Berkeley rods. I really like those.
Now, again, we've gone down.
I've got a bunch of, just old standbys. And that Falcon Cara T7, the original one, they just re-released them. That's kind of what I cut my teeth on. And
do you know if the new ones are like the old ones?
I don't know. All mine are worn out. I mean,
yeah.
I think I've got 4 or 5 7'3" Amistad specials that started as jig rods, and now they've been bent so many times you can throw a square bill on them.
Yeah,
but it's a great whopper plopper rod. I mean,
we need to back up and catch a couple things. Round man, I don't think you're going to hear any arguments on round split rings versus oblong split rings. I will say something you need to research a little bit is the braided line trick for the treble hooks on a crankbait. Maybe in the next week or so we will discuss that a little bit further.
There's a company out there that releases them that way now.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah, you're talking about replacing the split ring altogether with braid, right? Yeah.
That's correct. David Williams, Widowmaker may be coming back just in a different form.
Widowmaker. I used to know the guy that used to make those.
Yeah. Tim Kelly. Good all-around medium deep crank rod. I'm not the guy to answer that for you because most of what's sold on the shelf I don't like.
I was laughing at Derek's comment.
Derek.
Billy. $100 worth of baits frozen at the bottom of his boat Sunday.
There was. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm going to have to call Skeeter and light them up. Have you ever seen you put the boat cover on the boat, boat's perfectly dry, and then you take the cover off before a tournament after 2 snows, and you look down and there's that much ice in the floor of your boat?
No, but it just didn't come out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying.
You got a hole in your cover, maybe?
Evidently, there's something. I know this. We ice skated in the boat till lunchtime Sunday. It was interesting.
Medium deep crank stick. Any recommendations between Duckett or Abu? So, you used to fish with Ducketts, didn't you? A long time ago?
Duckett had one good cranking rod.
Is that the one Timmy Horton designed?
No, wrong.
No? Is that the one Jason Gwynn designed?
Yes. And that Tim Kelly, message me and I'll hook you up on a very good cranking rod.
I'm with Eddie on that one. They're all different. David looks like a Duckett, man.
Who said that?
Joey.
Man, Joey.
Oh.
I don't wear white sunglasses. I don't fit the bill. I mean, we've all gone through phases with fishing rods.
I fished with Falcon my entire life.
I know, but I've also seen you pick up a rod that so-and-so's built. You picked up rod. You bought different rods
I
to
got
play.
some blackjack rods that Adam used to make.
I don't know that you've ever gotten any of mine.
I haven't. Yeah, I do. I have one. You made it underneath the Lake Wiley bait and tackle. That's a 7 foot.
What did I do?
11.
Wrap it for Adam or something?
7 foot 11 cranking rod.
Yeah, maybe. That's very possible. Eddie, the problem with that is I agree. There needs to be a across-the-board system. Why will this not stay so I can read it?
It just keeps scrolling.
The problem is there's no way to do that.
The blanks are all different.
Everybody's blanks are different. They're made different places. Yes, there are some rod companies out there that you'll find 4 or 5 of the different manufacturers. Their rods are all made in the same factory. But even inside of that, there's slight variations.
And then you hang different guides on them, and it changes it
Where you
completely.
place the guides changes
How big
things.
they are, how heavy they are.
I mean, you can take an 8-foot rod blank and cut it in 2 different places and make it 4 different things. I mean, there's just so much to do with rods that most guys that buy fishing rods don't think about.
I've brought some of my old blanks back that have been worn out by taking the original guides off of them and rewrapping them with micro guides.
There's all kinds of things you can do. And the other thing too is people don't think about the longer the rod's used, the weaker, so to speak, it gets. Mike Stevens and I were talking about that today. I'm rewrapping some of his rods, and he said, next time you order this blank, order me one of da 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 da. I said, you're not gonna like it. It's different.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's not the same blank. I said, okay. I pulled it out, and he's like, no, that's heavier. That's not the same. I showed him the numbers, and this is the exact same blank, and the difference is 7 years of time.
Yeah. On a lot of fish catches.
Yeah.
Yeah, ALX is a good rod brand. They're in Aiken, I think.
They are.
Right? I've actually been to their factory.
Well, Tim Kelly, I can tell you this. The Skeeter that I've got came with a cover, and it don't work. So if you find out, let me know. Eddie, again, I don't want to...
That's a good question.
In reality, the money is best spent in both the rod and the reel before anything else. But if you're really spending money, I would say spend the money on... Don't buy a reel that's less than $200 for the most part across the board. There's...
I don't know, man.
Name one reel that holds up for less than $150 for more than a year.
Well, that's the thing. So, I get to test a lot of stuff.
I mean, I'm just saying,
Right.
if it depends on how much you fish. For me, as much as I fish, I don't have the confidence to put into a loose MP, tournament MP, or a Revo S as I do an STX or Tournament Pro.
Dude, I've got... Well, you've seen my stuff. I have
I know, all
Revo
Gen
1s
You
that
know
are
what?
probably 15 years old,
They still cost you $200 a piece.
and they work just as good as they did 15 years ago. I tear them down and clean them
That's
and put them back together. I do it once a year.
maintaining them is key.
And that Silver Max that Tim Kelly put on here is a really good reel for the money. It really is. Now, you gotta take care of them. You gotta clean them, right? I mean, that's with
That's
any
the
reel.
key to any of them.
But for me, I'm gonna put the money in the rod.
I agree.
Because
I mean-
I've got some Silver Maxes that make the ride. Now they were prototypes that were for test. I don't know what they were. And
You find out later that it's a
you don't. I mean, dude, if you're slinging and winding, you don't need a high dollar reel.
It comes down to what
Now-
are you doing?
Now, if you're fishing a jig and you need to skip it, you know the adjustments on a high dollar reel are much more precise than they are on a
That's
lower
right.
budget reel. So, you know, if you're doing something like throwing a crankbait or a heavy topwater plug, or well, not even a heavy topwater plug, a buzz bait or a pop or anything like that, you don't. In my opinion, you don't need a real high dollar reel. Now, if you're skipping a jig or doing something like flipping bushes or something where you need some horsepower, and I don't mean how fast the reel is. What I mean is how beefy the reel is, like a beast or something like that. You need something that when you set the hook with 10 feet of line out and there's a 4 to 7 pounder on the other end, and you got to get them out of the bushes. You can't do that with a $60 reel because you're going to blow the gears out of it.
That's for me. I throw a buzzbait on a Super Duty a lot because it's a lot of abuse. Because I throw braid. I'm not like everybody else that throws mono on buzzbait.
Chris, I agree with you. You should be able to skip any reel.
You can skip
You
any
can.
reel if
What
you
I'm talking
practice.
about is tearing up the gears when you have your daggone drag cinched all the way down, and it doesn't need to come out when you set the hook. The drag washer in a high dollar reel is, in my opinion, is better in one that is a more budget reel.
If you take and tear down every reel I've got up front from $59 to $350, you're going to notice a couple things. The $59 reels, there's a lot more plastic parts in them.
Yeah, but the high dollars got brass in them. They're going to tear up too.
Yeah, brass is better than plastic though.
Yeah, you can replace any of that stuff though.
You can. And Chris Marshall comes from the days where they used to skip 6,500, so he probably can skip anything.
Yeah. Well, I learned on an old round Calcutta.
I'm glad wasn't into it then.
That's all we had. I mean, if you were a crankbait fisherman growing up when I was a kid and you didn't have a gold Calcutta, you weren't a crankbait fisherman.
See, I was always thinking the old teardrop lures.
That was a good one too.
I still have a couple of those.
The old BB1.
Mm-hmm. I still like throwing them from time to time.
5500.
No, I'm sorry, 5,500.
And a pistol grip.
I forgot he's got little hands.
I was going to say that
I mean, some of the there's a
And it all comes down to how much abuse you put it through. How many of them do you have? I mean, if you got 15 rods.
Oh, not you're not abusing.
That's right.
I mean, if you're looking for one reel and one rod, spend the money on the rod and the reel.
Yeah.
I mean, again, can you do it?
Yeah, of course
Economically, you can. You really can.
When I first started fishing as a going, I had 2 rods. I had a 7-foot medium heavy and a 6'6" medium. And that was it.
Jeff Murray, the difference is Ryobi's still making most of these reels. You just don't realize it. Most of the reels are made in Ryobi factory in China.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ryobi as in
the
Home Depot stuff?
Like Ryobi.
Really?
If you look up what all they make in their factories, it's appalling. Joey, that's my point, is you kind of got to know what the budget is.
Yeah.
A good baseline is $200 for the reel. The rod you can do for about $200 as well. 150 to 200.
I could put a good combo together for $200, I think.
A total combo for $200.
Yep. How much is a Veritas right now?
169 to 189.
All right, they used to be $100.
Yeah, no.
I'm out of touch. Shows you how long it's been since I bought any rods and reels.
I'm just saying now. Marvel Mystery Oil for reel oil after cleaning reels. I have not, and I don't recommend it. Only because I haven't done it. I know that Lucas makes a fishing reel oil that is very good. And there's a couple of other decent oils that you can get for doing that. I want to say Spool Speed makes one that they sell as high speed lubricant or something. But Lucas fishing reel oil is pretty easy to come by, and it's good.
Tim Kelly Vendetta with the Silver Max is less than 200. I've got some Vendettas.
Okay, Vendetta.
My Vendetta cracked some sheephead.
Revo X. I mean, Joey, we know you're going to say Abu. I know you're pure fishing poster child.
I've got some Revo X's too.
I mean, the biggest thing is how much do you want to spend? That's the first step.
Eddie, I've got an old Ardent reel cleaning kit. That's what it is. Is Ardent? I haven't heard of Ardent in forever. Are they still around?
I think you can still find some reels from Ardent. They
Okay.
make coal tags too, for sure.
Gotcha.
They still do stuff.
I haven't heard that name in forever. But the biggest thing when you're cleaning reels is you got to know where to put grease and you got to know where to put oil.
And when you put it in, you put it in very small quantities.
That's right. 1 drop.
And this
Of
time
oil.
of year, you almost don't want any.
And you grease your gears, and that's it. And don't do it backwards or you'll never be able to cast your reel again.
Without completely stripping it down.
Ugly Sticks made a big push with their new carbon rods. I won 2 in the Santa thing last year and gave them both to my son, and when we go fishing, I fish with his stuff. Yeah, you can't tell the difference.
Rods are, I mean, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get crucified for it, but rods in the under $200 price tag are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
You get over $200 and that's when you start separating brand.
Yeah, I used to think I needed expensive
No. What
rods
I'm
and
saying
crap,
is you start separate. That's where the separation begins. You know, Shimano goes this way, Megabass goes that way, G Loomis goes this way. Under $200, it's almost, you can just about go across the line and find something similar.
unless you have a super specialized technique, I think you could probably get away with anything under $200.
You can get away with anything. I mean, you can get away with anything under $200.
The bass don't care.
They don't. It comes down to what I mean. I guess when you build rods, it's different. For me, if I want a rod to do X, Y, and Z, I can just build it.
Yeah.
I mean, Denali has been a good fill-in for me being lazy and not wanting to build my own rods. I mean, it's just to each his own.
If you're trying to get started, though, for me, 7-foot medium heavy or 7-foot medium, and whatever reel that you can afford to put on there is a good place to start.
7-foot medium?
If you have one of each, 7-foot medium heavy and a 7-foot medium, you can do
a lot
with those two rods. You're gonna have to retie. Those are the two I started. I'm sorry, I had a 6.6 medium spinning rod when I was a kid, and those were the two rods that I walked the bank and beat the death out of everybody's docks and pontoon boats from the bank that I could.
Tim Kelly, you're right. It's just like that. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to work.
None of my rods are pretty. You can't even read the labels on them anymore. They're being stomped on and treble hooks beating them to death. And
what's the winning technique going to be at Rayburn this weekend?
Somebody's going to find them staged up, and they're going to bust them.
On a trap.
Dragging something.
Yep.
It's going to be I don't think anybody's going to do it beating the bank.
No. Bradley Caller, what do you think about cash and rods? What do you think about cash and rods?
I used to have a bunch of cash and rods. And when I first got them, I really liked them. But I went away from them because I did not like how short the handles were. That was the biggest thing for me.
Short handles, that grip is abrasive, especially if you're throwing a jerk bait, walking bait.
They're a great rod. They're a good rod.
I know people that break a lot of them, but that's just...
I do a lot of fishing in the wintertime, and I'm still one of the old cork guys. I like cork. And it gets real slick for me. When it's cold, that stuff is not tacky. It gets slick.
It does. Oh, I got one I just built for myself. I put it in your hand. You think it looks awesome. You go try to skip a jig with it, and every time the jig hits the water, it feels like it's coming out of your hand.
Yeah.
Not a cash and rod. It's one I built with a new handle. I just got a wild hair and was playing with.
There's a lot of rod manufacturers going away from what I like, the old cork.
You can't get cork.
That's what I like, man.
I know.
And I go backwards and forwards between split grip and the full handle. I like both of them.
I mean, you can't. The problem is finding pure high grade cork. I mean, G-Loom has kind of got market cornered on
Cork.
On the high end cork. I mean, there's rods out there that have cork on them, but they're going to look like trash in a year.
Dobbins does a good job with their cork.
If you care for cork, you can make it last too.
I've got the sealer. When I buy a new rod,
U40 cork sealer.
I put the cork sealer on it.
You got to.
But, I mean, it still doesn't protect it from treble hooks and stuff like that. So, Tim, I haven't held one of those yet. I think those things have wind grips on them, maybe.
The other bad thing about wind grips is they last 2 years.
Do they?
Tops. I mean, I could pull out some of Mike Stevens' rods there, and the wind grips are all. It's like golf grip. I mean, when you play golf,
can you replace those?
No.
You got to wrap them.
You either wrap them. I mean, you can replace them, but it's not easy because you got to cut everything off the bottom of the rod.
Yeah.
Put it in the oven. Pray you don't melt it. Turn it into a noodle.
I'll say you You fixed one of my rods that somebody gave me. They snapped it was a split grip, and they broke the end cap off of it.
I just did one for Chris Carnes today. He had a G Loomis GLX slammed in a car door, right behind the handle. Cut it off and spliced in a butt.
I guess we go on forever about that stuff. The best thing to do, and I know it's a different trend now, is go to a tackle store if you want to buy a rod and reel and pick up every rod and hold it.
Yeah, I was going to say, come by, see me, and I'll walk you through the process from bottom to top.
They all bend different. They all got a different spline in them. Someone's moderate's different than somebody else's moderate. Someone's extra fast is different. It's all...
Most rods aren't...
It's all different.
Most rods aren't splined nowadays.
They don't spline them anymore?
When they build them in overseas, wherever they're getting thrown together, no, they don't. I mean, that is one thing that I've noticed.
You watch TV, you watch the pros, I notice a lot of rods break now.
It's because they're not splined properly.
I'll knock on wood, but I have never broken a rod boat flipping a fish before.
I haven't broken a rod on boat flipping. I've broken a rod setting a hook.
I've done that.
I mean,
carrot sticks. I broke every one of them.
I built a flipping rod and took it to High Rock of all places and set the hook on a mudfish, and that ended it very quickly.
Y'all need to do that again.
Round man, you cooking?
I'll cook. You want to do that, I'll cook.
You'll cook hot dogs?
Yep.
We can do that.
Yep.
New tackles out of the mix on horse trading. Unless you got original Milos, Ronnie B's, or...
That would be kind of cool. You open store up and let people do a tackle swap with each other.
I mean, I don't mind doing that as long as it's not... I just don't want it to be flea market. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen Roundman's garage. He's got some cool stuff in there. Now, he might not bring the cool stuff, but...
I get... Anybody that has been fishing since Moby Dick was a minnow has got some cool stuff.
He's got some cool stuff.
Yeah, Tim Kelly, ducket rods tend to do that. If you don't blow the rod up, every guide will pop off the blank. I've seen that happen before.
I've seen Jeremy Cade bust one of his boat flipping. About 5 or 6 of them popped off.
Link.
The link right beside of it.
All right, so we'll work on a swap and shop. I mean, it could be fun.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
We just got to figure out what nights work best for people. I mean, I know we say weekends, but is it really the weekend?
No.
Not with tournaments?
Thursday night. Friday night's not good because everybody's going to be getting ready.
Wednesday night, Thursday night. Wednesday night. Midweek special.
We can do it Monday night. Do the podcast while we're doing it.
How are we going to do that?
I don't know.
I don't know. All right. We've been on here for an hour and 18 minutes.
I like that. We're going to do that.
I'm good to do it. I mean, listen, if y'all want me to, I'll bring the smoker up here and smoke some more butts. I can do that too.
I like Thursday.
All right, Thursday. Not this Thursday.
That won't give everybody enough time.
All right.
Tim, you and David have to get talking on that one.
Yes, Zach Lamb, you're right. Anything with duck, it sucks. I hate to say that publicly. I mean, I'm impressed at the fact that you can buy a ducket rod to do anything. But the longevity of them is a dart on the wall.
I don't know anything about them. I've never fished with them.
I mean, they do. They have a rod that will handle anything that you want to do.
Well, I mean, they have a lot of good people on their pro staff to design them.
It just sucks because you don't know when the next hook set is the end.
Gotcha. They probably have the biggest star-studded staff there is, besides Lou's.
Yeah, but I mean, Lou's rods are.
And Abu now too. I mean, those are the three big ones.
People sleep on little companies like Denali.
I agree with you.
I mean,
I'm talking about just star-studded staff, though.
that's right. Berkeley Juke. Not a thing. What do you know about Berkeley Juke?
So to me, the Berkeley Juke looks a lot like. Joey might know more about it than I do. It looks a lot like it's a shallow running pencil style crankbait. I'm pretty sure it suspends. It's almost like remember this old swimming image? It used to be the spitting image. Bill Dance used to throw all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yard sale. It looks almost like a jerkbait.
It is, but it's fat. I don't know. All I can tell you is tie it on and throw it, and you tell us what you think about it.
Well, Berkeley Juke 100 and natural herring has quickly become my number one choice for snook along the rocks.
Is it a saltwater bait?
Is it a saltwater bait?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Have no idea. That's a new one to me.
Throw it. Tell us what you think about it.
All right, Mark, I'm assuming you're talking about a rod. And yes, that matters. Being able to feel the bait does matter. All right. We wrap this thing up.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. All right, so we're going to work on a swap in shop. What else are we going to do? Fantasy fishing.
You got a 1v1 to figure out.
I got to figure out a 1v1, which is going to happen soon. Because it's getting ready to get real hectic. I mean, really, really hectic.
CBC's in 2 weeks.
Yep, and then there's one.
And then Norman's right after that, I think.
Yep. Are you going to fish them?
I can't go to Murray.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know. We got a baby coming.
I know. I know.
We got a baby coming and baseball practice and dance.
You don't know what's. You don't know when the next one you're going to get in is.
Past February, I don't know what's going to happen.
All right. Gonna do a weight for this weekend. Yeah, Brandon will make a post when this is over.
For what?
Guess the winning weight.
For a tackle warehouse?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw together a Bloody Thumb tackle pack.
Bloody Thumb tackle pack.
Yep.
I'll get it ready, Jack.
We'll do a post.
We need to start reaching out to your suppliers, and we need to go ahead and get everything lined up for every week.
We'll do a post towards the end of the week. They'll lay out the fantasy fishing once you figure all the ins and outs.
I'll create that in a couple minutes. It won't take long.
Yep. And then we'll do a post here when this is over for the closest to without going over for the Tackle Warehouse Pro Tour event this weekend. And if you're in the area, stop by the shop. If you're not in the area, check out the website, rustyhookstackle.com. We'll see you guys next week. Rusty Hooks Live, where our hooks may be rusty, but our points are always sharp.
See you guys next week.
We'll see you guys next week.